Hello and welcome to Dr. Silica's workshop. Today we're going to talk about the Adepticon bundle for Infinity the Game, which is a new action pack for the Imperial service. And if you get that with the Long Wang Imperial Tag Police, you'll get the Dragon Lord for free in the bundle. I want to take a look at the models today, maybe build them up and talk about what you get. So the Dragon Lord is either an HVT or a new profile to the Imperial service. The Long Wang is a tag. It's been released with the 5th edition of Infinity, so we've seen it before. No real surprises there. And in the action pack, you're going to have 9 models. There will be 3 Celestial Guard. Flip this over to show it on the back. So there are going to be 3 Celestial Guard. There is a Pheasant Agent with a Red Fury, who's going to be, I believe, this gentleman. You're going to have a Crane Agent with an AP HMG. There's the big guy down here. There is a Koga Ninja with a tactical bow. Bayara Imperial Palace Guard, which is this guy back here. And the Wu Meng with an SMG. Altogether, the bundle is going to be about 200, not including the Dragon Lord, but the bundle being the action pack and the Long Wang is at the cheapest options, 269 points, 3.5 SWC, and 10 orders. So you'll have about 31 points and 2.5 SWC to play with, either to add and get yourself up to 2 combat groups, or to upgrade some of the profiles and proxy those. So it's a pretty good starting point for Imperial service. And let's take a look at the models. So first, this is what you're going to get in the Imperial service action pack. So we'll take this out. Of course, the bases are always handy. And then we'll sort out these pieces as well. So let me take a look at this, get it sorted out, and then we'll come back. All right, so straight out of the box, some of these are 1 bag per model, and some of them are mixed pieces. So I'll do a quick run through. Here, this is most of the Koga Ninja with some of the parts in this bag. Here, the other parts in here I think are for the Celestial Guard, specifically this one that was loose. We've got what appears to be a whole Celestial Guard in this bag, a whole Celestial Guard in this bag. This bag is a mix, appears to be the Wu Meng, and I believe the Pheasant Agent with the Red Fury. Got your bases over here. This bag is the Jin Yao Drop Troop, along with this loose wing. I'm not certain why they were separate, but just pay attention that that's how they're gonna be in the box, apparently. This loose part here and this bag are going to be the Crane Agent. And then I believe this bag, and this loose torso are going to be the Bayara Imperial Guard. So that's how you're going to sort out what's in the box. In a little bit, I'll build these and we can take a quick look at them, and I can verify that. I'll also get the parts shots up on Human Sphere so that we can reference the stills of which parts go with which minis. Then you have Long Wang, so 40 mil base, as it is Silhouette 6. Parts in here. So this material is not CO cast. This is Unicool, or what Corvus Belli will call plastic resin. This one's a little bit easier. 1 model, 1 box, so it's pretty quick to put together. If we just take a quick look at it, you're going to have a torso, some legs, there you go, fits pretty nice. This is the same material that was used for the new Tech Belong and Soka Rentai, and at least one other new tag. So it's produced in China. Definitely different material, cleans up pretty quick, and I mean, this is fitting together nicely straight out of the box. This is the first time I've held this in my hands, so it comes together pretty nice. Looks pretty good. There we go. Hand goes over the HMG pretty nicely. And then you're going to have, once that's done, looks like, not entirely certain where this piece goes just yet. I'll take a look at the box. Yeah, that appears to be the whole HMG, so I'll have to take a look. Maybe on the back? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is just another back piece. Either this way or, yeah, looks to be that way. Need to be cleaned up a little bit to fit tightly, but I mean, this model is going to be built in probably 15 minutes tops, maybe 20. But pretty fast, pretty clean. It's the details crisp. So excellent work as always. And then the last model in the bundle is going to be the Dragon Lord. If you have played Toha, then you'll be familiar with the Toha Delegate, which is basically an HVT model that happens to have a profile somewhat a little bit more useful in a war core. That's coming in at about 5 points. He's got a monofilament close combat weapon, and I believe he's a specialist, but not much in the way of a stat line. So it's 5 points. But if you want to use him as an HVT, you can as well. So he's going to come with a bag with these pieces as well as a loose part. And should go together pretty quick. Watch out for the details on this piece here, and of course be careful with the sword or the staff. Anything that's kind of long in metal, you want to watch out for. So I'll take a look at these, get them built, and then we can kind of talk about that process. All right, thanks. All right, so we've got the action pack built, and I just want to go through, briefly talk about the experience, any tips that I saw from building them to maybe help the process be a little bit easier for you, or just things to be aware of. Overall, the build was super smooth, super fast, no major issues. One miniature was a little bit challenging in one particular spot, but I was able to hobby around it. But I'll just kind of briefly talk about each of the minis and kind of the experience of building them and anything that's notable. First we'll go through is the Crane Agent here. Smooth fit, everything went together quite nicely. I think I did have to fiddle a little bit with the feet or maybe the ankle position just to get the base of this to be flat and even with the other foot, but that's a pretty kind of standard thing that you got to do, and I think with the way it's built now, you can't really tell that there's anything unusual about it. As you're cleaning them, do watch out. You know, as they are, swords are a little brittle, or not brittle, but bendable. So just make sure that you're paying attention and being careful around this area. But big chunky pegs to fit into the torso, so everything went together very nicely. The backpack as well. So overall, easy to clean, easy to build. The Pheasant Agent, again, similar experience. You'll see there maybe is a little bit of a disconnect right there, but overall, you know, from 3 feet away, you're not going to notice, and I'm pretty happy with it. If it really bugs you, real easy to putty that up. But it went together very nicely, and again, great build. Same with the Wu Ming. In fact, I would say that fit there is even nicer. So really went together smoothly. 3 Celestial Guard, nothing at all remarkable about them. They fit together really nicely. They look great. They cleaned up pretty well. So just kind of a brief look at each of those built. One thing to point out, the billy clubs are just a little bit bendable, so just be careful when you're cleaning around them, that you don't bend them too much or break them off or anything. I didn't have any challenges with that, but if you're not ready for it, it could surprise you. So each of those went together really nicely. All right. Then you've got the Jin Yao Drop Troop. this one is just unusual. It's not built like anything else I've built from Infinity, in the sense that the arms are down low, as you'll see here and here, with the hip joints being up higher and the wings up here. Goes together great. Just dry fit it first. Take your time. The fit between the wrist and the hand on the shotgun is great, so no issues there, and everything fits really snug. You'll kind of just, again, dry fit it and take your time, and you'll know when it's in the right spot. You need to make sure that the legs are even. They can kind of bend a little bit, so just make sure that the hip joints are solid within their connection, and then you'll want to fiddle with the legs as you need to get them flat. The one kind of warning I'll give you is these are really prone to bend. They're long pieces, and they have, small connection points. So if you're rough at all on building them, they can bend pretty quick. They'll bend back, but if you do it too much, they will break. So just be careful with that. The short kind of stubs out here will stick out, and then there's a longer piece that fits in, and they'll fit in pretty nicely and look pretty dang good. If I do say so myself. Corvus Belli did a great job on this sculpt. The Bayara plastic Palace Guard, again, easy build. A little bit of cleanup work on this just because of all the connection points. It's a big model, so a lot of connection points to clean up on this guy. Nothing impossible. Just kind of take your time with it, and then again, you'll want to make sure that the feet are even with each other when you do base it. The hip and calf both fit into the body here. Hip up here and calf down here. There's indentations for both of those spots. So just make sure that you have it positioned in the right spot. On the right side, the left side, it's just a hip joint that'll connect. Both the arms fit in pretty easily. The head's a separate piece, fits in nice, really smooth build for the dragon / demon pangolin. Not quite certain what it's supposed to be just yet. I did build the guard itself separately or I haven't based him yet. Maybe as a word of warning, you might want to offset this guy just a little bit more towards the back to have a little bit of space between the two. As it is, I'm happy with how they're going to look when I'm done basing them. I do like that somebody's looking straight forward along with the line of sight marker, but if I glue him right now, I'm just never painting this part in between them. So I've left him off the base for now. I'll prime them together, and I'll at least give him some amount of paint before I put him on here and continue. But if you put him as close as I did, there's no way you're going to get a brush in between there to your satisfaction. So that's a heads up on that guy. And then for the last mini of the action pack is the Koga Ninja. Smooth build. The bow in particular is very fragile. I didn't have any issues with breakage, but just pay attention when you're working on it and you're cleaning it that you don't, bend or twist it out of shape. And then same for the sword and scabbard back here. There is also a spot for the sword to fit into on the ninja's hip, so just kind of pay attention to that when you're fitting it into place. And then I could just be imagining this. It really felt like there was a right way and a wrong way to put the hat on. There's a rectangular peg, so it'll fit one way or turned 180 degrees. When I put it on one way, it wobbled it a little bit. When I put it on the other way, it sat firm, and I thought that was the right way to do it. Maybe you won't notice that, but I think it's going to look fine either way. I did mention a challenge with this model, which is right here where the tack bow arm meets the shoulder. There's a peg inside. There's a groove on the tack bow arm, and it'll slot into the peg on the shoulder. And there was some material built up around the outside of that peg that I had to cut and file away to get the arm to sit properly. There's a little bit of a gap, and if I was going to submit this to a painting competition, I'd green stuff it. But as this is a change in fabric from the upper arm into the shoulder, I think when it gets painted from 3 feet away, you're not going to notice. That's the only thing that kind of took longer than expected on this model. Other than that, it went together really smooth, and I think it looks fantastic. I would probably proxy this as any ninja just because it looks good. So these minis right here are going to round out the action pack. A lot of great looking sculpts in there, tons of detail, good amount of motion, a lot of creativity, especially with the Jin Yao and the Bayara Palace Guard. Just really, really pleased with that, the minis and the build process. Then, as part of the bundle, if you also get the Long Wing Imperial Tag Police, you get this fella in the Unicool or plastic resin. One of the fastest minis I've built in years. Probably took me 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes start to finish. With one exception, all of the connection points that you're going to want to clean up are on pegs, is where they slot into the body or something like that. So that cleanup's really fast. Just take your sharp knife and have at it gently. There was one connection or injection point right here, and that cleaned up pretty nice. I want to see if we can get a good, yeah. You might be able to tell that I scraped something up there, but it's on the bottom part of the forearm. So, from a play experience, you're never going to know. The fit is tight. It just was a super smooth build process. I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks, real nice. So very happy with that. No other comments. Other than, some people have commented to me that in their experience, some pieces of Unicool or plastic resin are a little brittle. And nothing in here is so small that I think you're going to have to worry about that. But if you get another mini that might have a thinner piece, just make sure you're being gentle with it as you clean it. But for this guy in particular, great process. And then, as Corvus Belli has said, if you buy the action pack and the Long Wang, you can get the Dragon Lord for free. Really pleased with how this guy went together. Great build. You will want to be careful cleaning the cane. There's a bit of flash that ended or at the end of the cane itself, so make sure that you cut it off at the right spot. You will see there's a gap here, but once I base him, I might put a piece of plastic card underneath. Once I base him, that won't be an issue. But I didn't want to fiddle with his arm too much, and I don't like bending such a small piece too much. So I got it where I wanted it, and I'll just make the base meet that, put a little hill or something. Then on the back, there's a cloak piece. That'll fit into the Dragon Lord's back, and then this halo will slot into that. Make sure you dry fit that a few times and file away any excess material until you get a nice fit. But overall, went together really fast, cleaned up really nicely. Really pleased. I think it looks awesome. This is a great HVT for just about any faction. So really think that Corvus Belli knocked the ball out of the park on this one. All right, so that's a quick unboxing and build review of the Imperial Service Action Pack bundle for Adepticon 2025. If you're excited for this, please go pre-order at your game store through Warsenal, Interstellar Games, or Corvus Belli. If you're at Adepticon, check out the CB booth. They're always a great people to talk to, and have a good time there. If you have any questions, please post any comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching.